Hi, everybody. Joe Schmit along with Tom Pelissero of 1500 ESPN, ESPN.com, here out at Winter Park with another SportsWrap Online. And, Tom, we just got done listening to Brett Favre and to the new head coach, Leslie Frazier, talk about the game, what's happening. It seems to me there's going to be some subtle changes. Favre maybe a little bit more involved in the offensive game calling and the intensity of practice.
Yeah, I think that's something that Leslie Frazier wants to up, is just get the tempo, get guys feeling like they have a little bit more flow. One thing I did notice, having seen a lot of different NFL teams practice, is that under Brad Childress, it wasn't necessarily the fastest paced environment. What Frazier wants to do is up the tempo, try to get guys to get used to that in practice. Now, how on offense and defense they're going to change, that remains to be seen. I do think, though, that if you're Darrell Bevell, you've got 6 games here, you're probably going to want to put the game into Brett Favre's hands to an extent, because why not? Why try to freeze him out? Favre said he hasn't spoken any more than normal with Bevell this week, but I think as the week goes on, there's going to be a little bit more back and forth.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, because the other thing Favre talked about is trying to keep it simple. When you're in crisis right now, kind of go back to the plays that you run well, the plays that have worked well in the past. The other thing I think is Leslie Frazier's not showing his entire hand. He said he thinks that you will probably notice some changes. Now, I don't think that necessarily means trick plays. I don't think that means that they're going to be running double reverses on kickoff returns, but I think there will be some subtle changes we'll notice.
Yeah, schematically on defense, you look at the way that the Packers were able to exploit Asher Allen and Chris Cook on those go routes all day long. They weren't able to do anything to take that away. They weren't able to take the flats away. Yeah, you want guys in one-on-one situations to be able to make plays, but at the same time, on some level, you've got to help those guys out. You've got to know you have 2 young cornerbacks against a very good quarterback, some very good receivers that the Packers have, and be able to give them a little bit of help. Now, if Fred Pelissero is going to be calling the defense, which it sounds as though he will, I think Frazier will still have his hand in that, but we know what his personality is. Maybe a little bit more intense, maybe a little bit more aggressive. Frazier's blitzed more of late. I think you could see even more of that. Maybe get away from the cover 2 a little bit more, but again, it all remains to be seen, and they're not going to give anything away in advance.
And the other thing I found out is pretty interesting is I think the message is getting through to the team already.
Is this hail, by the way?
Oh, yeah, the hail with you. It is hail. We're covering weather, too, here on SportsWrap Online. But anyway, I think I kind of lost my train of thought now, but what I was going to say is that Leslie Frazier certainly seems comfortable in his role as the head coach, and secondly, his message of let's focus on Washington, try to block everything else out, is getting through to the minions.
We're going to have to see. You know, I've been told that he's a guy that they're going to run through walls for Leslie Frazier, but again, you got 6 games to go. The playoffs are probably out of the picture. You got 21 guys who are unsigned beyond the season. You got assistant coaches who essentially are in a lame duck situation. All that combined, we'll have to see if it really translates on Sunday in a hostile environment against a Washington team that's coming off a big win over Tennessee.
It's going to be very fun. We're going to get out of this bad weather and have more SportsWrap Online. Just keep it here at KSTP.com and 1500 ESPN.com. Have a great day. Happy Thanksgiving.